Hi, in this video I want to talk about how you can't separate the feelings. Obviously, you can't separate the feelings from the thing that caused the feelings. Obviously, it's a thought experiment you have where you say it doesn't matter what causes the feelings, it doesn't matter how you reach the satisfaction that you have, it just matters about the feelings that you're experiencing. And obviously that's a reasonable thing to discuss, at least when it comes to a thought experiment, because that's the truth. It doesn't matter what causes the experience or the feelings you're feeling. It just matters that you're feeling, and the feeling that you have is the value that you're creating. Um, it doesn't matter what causes it, at least hypothetically speaking, but physically speaking, you can't change those interactions. You can't change what you're feeling based on what this feeling, this thing, this interaction causes you to feel. Obviously, thought experimentally speaking, it doesn't matter what's causing the feeling, it's just the feeling in you that your interaction, because the feeling's coming from here, regardless of the thing that you're interacting with. But the thing you're interacting with is part of the experience that you're having, and it's almost saying, like saying, you without this experience, this thing is useful in creating a positive or negative sensation or value exchange, and this thing is going to cause either positive value or negative value. We can have those associations, and that's where the associations matter. The associations matter when you're trying to negate pain or suffering. Obviously, it matters what's causing the negative feeling, and it's about realizing what caused it physically or whatever interaction or circumstance caused it, so you can prevent the circumstance from happening again, be it some physical thing that you can change or something you can take away or cause or go or whatever it is. It matters because, especially when it comes to negative feelings, when it's about taking away the negative feelings that you have, obviously it's useful when you get rid of them. So it's very useful to know what's causing this circumstance, even though it doesn't really matter. It's the feeling that matters. The feeling matters. When it comes to either feeling more or less of that feeling, be it negative or positive, feeling less of the negative and more of the positive, it's really useful, at least, to know what's causing the pain. But obviously, it's a different thought experience. It's about separating the two and realizing the feeling's what matters, and regardless, it matters what's causing it, but we're just talking about feelings right now and the value of the feelings, and that's how there's only interaction that means anything. But you can't separate those two things. You can't separate the feeling from the thing having the feeling and the thing that's interacting with the thing that's feeling. Be it you obviously feeling, you can't separate your neurology from the feeling, because your neurology is the thing feeling, and you can't change the interaction with the physical thing that's causing you to have a feeling, because that physical thing is causing the feeling in you. Obviously, you can find ways to hypothetically think of a universe or an existence where you just induce feelings in people. But regardless, that interaction has some value in and of itself. Then it's the inducing the circumstance of inducing the feeling that has some effect. I'm just saying, regardless of the thing, it's the interaction is needed. The interaction you can't separate from the feeling. The circumstance you can't separate, regardless of what the circumstance is. I'm not saying any circumstance has to be physical or this, that, or the other thing. I'm just saying the circumstance, whatever it may be, can't be separated from the feeling. Even though the feeling is all that matters, in the thought experiment, when we're talking about feelings and value, we separate those two. But regardless of what it is that's causing the feelings, you can't, first of all, you can't separate the thing that's causing the feelings and the thing that's causing the thing that has feelings from the feelings, because obviously, like I mentioned before, the neurology has the feelings and the thing you're interacting with has the feelings. But you can't change that interaction. You can't take away that interaction, and it still matters because you can't take away from the fact that that's the thing that's causing the feelings. The feelings are happening from some kind of interaction, and it's just about saying there's an interaction, and you can't separate the interaction from the feelings. And it doesn't matter what the interaction is. We're just saying you can't change or disconnect those things. Something has to happen for a feeling to happen. We're just saying you can't change the happening from the feeling, because something has to happen for something to feel. I mean, bringing up from our very uprising, our existence, our mold, where we came from. Yes, we had to go through the interaction to have our feelings to begin with. And we have interactions with things in the environment, whatever it may be, and we have feelings that way. We have feelings psychologically, just induced feelings. We have those feelings, whatever it may be. Feelings what matters, and it's our intelligence that allows us to recognize that we have these feelings. So, regardless, yeah, you can't separate the two. That's really all I'm saying. You can't separate the fact that you have feelings from the feelings. Um, the interaction with the feelings from the feelings that you're experiencing. The thing that's causing the feelings from the feelings that you're having based on that interaction. I mean, those things you just can't separate. They're stuck in the reality that we're in. So it's kind of one of those one-to-one things. Catch-22, maybe? I don't know. So yeah. So you can't separate them. So yeah. That's really the only thing I want to mention in this video. You can't separate the two. They're one and one. And I think I made enough of the useful distinctions. About the interaction you can have with the environment. Oh, it doesn't really matter what causes them. Our feelings are the only thing that matters, but you can't separate the feelings that matter from the thing that caused the feelings, and the thing that experiences the feelings, and the thing that's experiencing the feelings based on something that's causing the feelings. They still have an effect, and there's no way you can separate them because something has to happen for feelings to happen. Even for the feelings to exist, begin with, to come into existence, and to have an effect, obviously it has to have some kind of happening beforehand. That's where the happening can't be disconnected. So as a thought experiment, it's useful, but as anything else, practically, it doesn't mean anything that our feelings are the only thing that has value, but it's about learning our lessons and realizing what we can do to change, or maybe, obviously, realizing what's causing the feelings, and what interaction or circumstance that caused the feelings, to change the feelings. If it's bad, you can change the feelings to good if you know what's circumstantially or what interaction's happening and how you can change it. You stub your toe, what you can do is try not to stub your toe again, so that interaction you can realize to not maybe change your walking pattern as you walk through the door next to a table or a chair or whatever it is. You realize that what caused the negative pain you experienced, or whatever you want to do to experience more thrill or more positive feeling or whatever it may be, through a lack of negative, obviously escaping negative, or escaping tension or deprivation. Eating, satisfying a sexual desire, obviously it's just avoiding the deprivations of satisfying. It's out of me now. Finally. But yeah, that's basically all we're doing. So you can see the value in it. You can't separate the two. Like I mentioned, the thing that's causing the feeling and the feeling, based on the sentient being feeling the feeling. So there's only so much you can do to change that. So if you stub your toe, what you do in that circumstance is you learn your lesson from stubbing your toe, and that's where the learning lesson thing becomes relevant again, and you decide to walk differently, or whatever it may be, so to change the circumstance to prevent it from happening again next time. Even though it already happened, you can prevent it from happening again. At that point, it's about learning your lesson and taking what you can with as little of a lesson as possible. So it's either about never learning the lesson, or learning the lesson as little as possible to prevent the thing from happening again. But there's only so much you can do in this interaction that we call existence, right? So anyway, that's all I want to say, and sorry if I made the points redundantly over and over again, but anyway, thank you, and until next time, bye.